Best practices to switch from classic chat to messaging. Hey there, customer experience community. This is Dominic. Welcome to another video. Today we're going to talk about how to make the transition from chat, from Zendesk Zopim chat to the new messaging feature. Quick intro about myself. Dominic here, customer experience enthusiast and Zendesk consultant. I've been in the game for a decade now. Bunch of logos and projects, over 300 successful projects so far. I'm here to bring you value, and today we're talking about how to make the switch from classic chat to Zendesk messaging. Now, I've seen this on social media, especially on LinkedIn. People complain about switching from legacy chat to the Zendesk messaging. Now, let's unpack this real quick. So Zendesk Classic Chat is Zopim chat. It's a standalone chat system that Zendesk acquired, I don't know, many years ago, maybe 7 years ago. And they essentially have used it in parallel with the support platform as a chat platform. Now, Zendesk Messaging is a new addition. It's a unitary experience that Zendesk has created in Zendesk Support, where you handle chats and emails and all your omni-channel channels into one. So Zendesk Messaging is where Zendesk is concentrating all of his efforts, and no more developments are going to happen to the legacy chat. So the old platform is going to be decoupled. I don't know when that's going to happen, but no effort is being done to maintain that. Everything is being brought into Zendesk. Now, there are some limitations which have been known for quite a while. I'm going to link a video up top about the limitations of Zendesk Messaging. So Zendesk is aware of these and they are working on fixing these. They've already actually marked a bunch of these features and they are present in messaging, but not all of them. Now, many of you have made the switch to Zendesk Messaging or are trying to do the switch to Zendesk Messaging and are seeing a downfall in productivity. Many of you are switching over to Zendesk Messaging to leverage newer functionality like Answer Bot, like chatbots and advanced bots, essentially automations which are helping you increase your productivity, and they're also maybe deflecting some of your tickets. So in order to leverage that, you have to switch to Zendesk Messaging. Now, in doing so, switching from classic chat to messaging, I have seen some of the pain points, and we've actually worked close with some customers that are experiencing this problem. So I'm going to list some of the reasons why there's a drop in productivity for agents and for your overall reports. Main reason for productivity decrease is because agents are switching to a new platform and a new way of doing things. They are a little bit overwhelmed, or they just don't have the proper training to do the switch because it's a little bit different and the experience is tailored differently. Another big reason why you're seeing downfall in productivity is because there's a different way of assigning tickets in this new way of doing things in messaging, and there's different ways to solve the ticket. We're seeing customers complain about the time to assign the ticket. We're seeing customers complain about the time it takes for an agent to solve the ticket, and we're seeing some delay in the time it takes for an agent to actually get back to the customer after the ticket has been assigned to them. Now, the underlying problem is very much related to agents don't know how to do things in this newer interface, but this is actually the smallest problem that you have right now. Now comes the actual complexity behind it, because this is very much tied to how Zendesk actually works in the messaging side and in support. So there's different way of routing these tickets and there's different ways to solve them. And now the third main reason why you're seeing drop in productivity is because when you're watching reports for Zendesk Messaging as opposed to watching the ones from Zendesk Chat, you're going to see some differences. You're not going to see the same metrics that you would see in the chat interface as you do in the messaging interface, so in the dashboard. This is also because some of them are missing. Some of these metrics have not been brought over, and some of them are just named differently. And that's just causing confusion for you because you're looking at something which is the same, but it's just named differently, and you're of course being used to doing something for a few years in a certain way, and all of a sudden you switch, it's named differently, so it causes confusion. But this is also due to the fact that some of these metrics have not been brought over. Zendesk is working on bringing them over to messaging. Now, I have compiled a list of best practices for you to use when you make the switch. Now, these best practices are, of course, some of them. It's not all of them. This is a work in progress, and the more we find out, the more videos I can make for you. But these are some things that I have compiled in a list with the help of my team, and yeah, I hope these are going to be useful for you. Keep in mind, this is not a one shoe size fits all, because you also have your own setup, and this list might differentiate between how it's actually put into practice in your case. Analyze your list first, talk to somebody with more experience, with us maybe, and yeah, implement that into your Zendesk. First best practice tip, duplicate pre-chat form with the flow builder answers to collect customer data and direct your customers to the right agent. As you know, in Classic Chat, you had this pre-chat form where you would collect the customer's name and email, and then you would ask them for a department, like what department would you like me to connect you to? Now the customer would fill in this name and email address, and then they would choose a department, and then they would click start conversation, and this conversation would be directly forwarded to that department, and whoever was available in the department would take this chat, and conversation would happen. Now this is different in messaging because you don't have the pre-chat form. However, you do have a way to escalate or to transfer to an agent, as you know, in Flow Builder when you create this flow. And you can ask for email address, and you can ask for name, and you can also ask what kind of request that you have. Is it a billing issue? Is it a bug? Is it a financial issue, etc. Now, you can also ask the customer a lot more information as opposed to the pre-chat form. You can ask them their user ID. You can ask them the country they're from. You can ask them for whatever you want, whatever is actually relevant for your business, which is great. Now, depending on what the customer actually says that they need help with, you can make this routing to the appropriate agent or the appropriate group to handle this request. See what I'm getting at? Seems more complicated, but it actually gives you a lot more flexibility to create a routing matrix, which is a lot more complex and a lot more flexible for you to use. Which leads us to our second tip. Instead of asking customer to fill out a pre-chat form, ask them to give you a reason why they want to get in touch. Now, what you do with this is you essentially create, okay, what do you need help with, dear customer? Do you need help with a billing inquiry, with a technical support problem, a general inquiry, a sales inquiry, or you want to make a purchase? I don't know, whatever fits your business, whatever fits your niche, and you customize this to whatever you need it. Now, when customer chooses whatever they need help with, you can create a trigger which essentially picks up on this, the reason why that they're reaching out, and assign them to the appropriate agent or the appropriate group to handle this request for them. Very, very nice and very, very practical. Third tip from switching from Classic Chat to Zendesk Messaging is use triggers to route tickets to the appropriate groups or agents to handle these requests. Now, as you know, using Classic Chat, you'd have that pre-chat form where a user would choose a department. They choose the reason that they want to get in touch, or the area that they're in, or I don't know whether it's relevant for your business, but you can use triggers to capture these. And you can create a very granular routing matrix based on what the customer chooses. Now, a trigger would sound something like this. If a ticket is created and the channel is messaging and the reason for getting in touch is finance, then the action would be assign it to the finance group or assign it to Alex because he deals with finance directly, right? So this is very smooth and very, very nice. Fourth tip, instead of using an offline form, use the business hour condition in Flow Builder to set the right expectation. In Classic Chat, you had the offline form, which would let the customer know that you're not available and would collect some information, and then the customer would be followed up with later when the agents would be in the office. Now, in messaging, in Flow Builder specifically, you can create a business hours condition, which the prerequisite of is to have a schedule set up in your Zendesk, right? So you go to schedule, you set up that schedule for whichever time zone that you want, and then you go to Flow Builder and you put a condition and you say, if we're not in the office, then direct the customer to a form so they can leave more information about what they need help with, and an agent will get back to them whenever they're back in the office. However, if somebody's in the office and it's within business hours, then, this condition is ignored altogether and they just have to choose, for example, what kind of department that they need help with, or what kind of issue that they have trouble with, or the area that they're from. This is all depending on what your niche is. Tip number 5, close tickets soon after they are solved using a macro. The reason why you want to close tickets is because if a customer comes back later on, you want a new ticket to open. You don't want necessarily the same ticket being reopened and the customer having to report a new issue in the same thread. This becomes confusing for agents to follow a conversation, and it also becomes confusing for your customer because they can just jump up and down from a first issue to the last issue and then to another issue that they bring. So it's very good to be organized and make sure that you have a new ticket each time the customer comes back with an issue, right? Because otherwise, again, very hard to keep track of all of these tickets coming in and just having to follow one single thread. Just close the ticket, use an automation if you want, or use a macro to apply a tag to the ticket, and then an automation comes and closes these tickets automatically, so you make sure a new conversation is started. You also ask for feedback from the customer, and they give you feedback, and everybody's happy.